Shri Ganesha Sharada Gurubhyo Namaha Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Prataye Namaha. Welcome to all for this session on Ramayana to chapter 109, where Rama will now going to give reply to Jabali. Just because the words told by Jabali are contrary to the dharma which is being followed as according to the Vedas and scriptures, and the dharma which is more practical to be followed in a country like India or in a community anywhere in the world, let Rama accept his words, whatever he has told, but continue to tell him why those words are not practicable. Sri Rama, patiently giving ear to the utterance of Jabali, replied with a due sense of judgment and in words based on his belief that those duties enjoined in the Vedas should be fulfilled. O Muni, that which you have spoken with a desire to please me is not authorized, nor are your admonitions just, since even the most cursory analysis proves them to be false. O sage, in the assembly of the God, in the assembly of the good, men who are not self subdued and who are wanting in integrity, and those who act contrary to what is ordered by the scriptures are not honored. It is his conduct that renders man virtuous, a coward, or a hero, and transmutes impurity to purity. Should I embrace error and abandon the authority of my elders, relinquishing rectitude and honor, as also moral conduct and the Vedic ordinance, then I, conforming to your beliefs and sacrificing prudence, would forfeit the respect of wise and virtuous men. Following your counsel, were I to cease to pursue the way of truth and tread the lower path, by what means should I attain heaven? Were I to depart from the moral codes, then every man might act according to his inclination, since the subject mirrors the king in action. This word need to be repeated. The subjects, the people always mirror the king. People will always follow the king. And that is the reason why often Rama's behavior are not we are people, ordinary people will not be able to understand his actions. Remember, the story of Ramayana is about Rama as an ideal king who would like to be ideal not only to his own subjects but to all the subjects who will come in the following thousands of years. He continued to remain as an ideal person. It is because of that idealness certain actions are difficult to understand. For example, people object Rama for subjecting Sita to the Agni Pariksha. Though Rama was very well aware about the nature, about the quality of Sita, that she will never subjugate herself to Ravana, yet Rama asked her to prove her chastity by entering into the fire. Why? It is not because that he suspected her, but remember, it is because he knew that the world will go into suspect and world will go into put a wrong words towards Sita. And as a king, it is his responsibility to make sure that none of his subjects, including his wife, to be subjected to mean words of the people. That is why he knew that even if she enters the fire, nothing will happen to her because she is as pure as anything else. Nothing, in fact, nothing can be so pure like Sita. So, because of that reason, he asked her to enter the fire. And even later in the last chapters of Ramayana, we see Rama abandoning Sita. It is not exactly he is abandoning Sita. He knew once again that in spite of proving her chastity, people are still talking low about Sita. And then he decided to leave her in the house of or the hermitage of Valmiki. So he ordered Lakshmana to drop her near the hermitage of Valmiki, just like his daughter is protected by father. Same way, Valmiki protected her and ensured a good education for the children of Rama, a much better education than what even Rama and Sita could give to them in the Ayodhya. And it is because of that reason. And if you go following Adhyatma Ramayana says that it was all the design of Sita herself, saying that the time has come for us to return to our abode. So she instructed Rama to abandon her so that she can go inside the earth and then return back to the heavens, waiting for Rama to end his avatara and come back. So there may be several reasons why exactly it is being done, but leaving the second reasons other side, as told in the Adhyatma Ramayana, because that was purely from the religious point of view. Whereas if you consider Rama as an ideal king who would like to be ideal for all his subjects, he continued to behave differently compared to common men. Following your counsel, were I to cease to pursue the way of truth and tread the lower path, by what means should I attain heaven? Were I to depart from the moral code, then every man might act according to his inclination, since the subject mirrors the king in action. Above all, a sovereign should manifest probity, benevolence, his chief duty being to uphold the truth. Truth is verily the kingdom, by truth is the world supported. Gods and sages esteem truth as the highest principle. He who utters truth attains the supreme state. Men fear a liar as they do a venomous serpent. Truth is the root of all felicity and the support not only of this world but the best means of attaining heaven. Here, leave the heaven, attaining heaven, and other things aside. If the king, as a king, if Rama himself do not respect what is told in the scriptures and the Vedas, then which other subject would be good, going to follow it? And even if someone doesn't follow it, what authority that the Rama would be having on them in order to command them, saying that you should follow according to the Vedas and scriptures? And if all people together, if they do not follow the Vedas and scripture as one common community law, remember when some people wish to live in a community, they need to work according to some particular written document or some particular commonly accepted rules, without which the community will cease to exist. Whatever is offered in sacrifice, whatever austerity is undertaken, has its foundation in truth. So the Vedas declare, hence truth is the most sacred of all things. One maintains a family, another governs the whole world, another falls into hell, another attains heaven in accordance with the fruit of his actions. Acquainted with the law of karma founded on truth, how I'm not I will not to prove my father a devotee of the truth. That means without following those particular words of his father, what respect he would be giving it to his father? Why should not I, who have pledged my words, follow that which I have accepted as truth? Honoring my father's vow, I shall never abandon the way of truth, either for the sake of governing a kingdom, or through being misled by others, or through ignorance or anger. Have you not heard that neither the gods nor the ancestors receive the offerings of one who is irresolute, infirm of purpose, and false to his words? I hold truth as the supreme virtue of mankind. I desire to reverence that truth upheld by men of old. Should I follow the duty of a warrior, I should be unjust. To do that which is false is worthy only of mean, covetous, and depraved souls. Should I pursue the crooked path indicated by you, then I should perpetrate falsehood through the mind, the body, and the soul. Those who uphold truth acquire land, renown, fame, and heaven also. Therefore, let all men utter truth and act according to truth. That which you, after much deliberation, believe is to me true, the recommended to me is wholly improper. Oh, how can I disregard the command of my father that I should reside in the forest when I pledged my words in the presence of my father to enter the forest? Even Queen Kaikeyi was rendered glad at heart. How should I now give her cause for distress? Giving up falsehood and deceit, differentiating between what should and should not be done, subduing the senses, possessed of full faith in the Vedic injunctions, I shall devote myself to the fulfillment of my father's will. By sacrifice, one acquires the state of Indra and enters heaven. The sages, by virtue of sacrifice, have gone there. The illustrious and glorious Ramachandra, highly displeased by the materialistic arguments of Jabali, spoke thus in terms of refutation and reproof. O Jabali, by speaking the truth, by pursuing the duty of their caste and station, by manifesting their valor in time of need, by gentle speech, by service of their spiritual preceptor, the gods and unexpected guests, men attain heaven. Therefore, those Brahmins instructed in truth pursue virtue with a single mind in accordance with their caste, the station, and eagerly await their entrance to Brahmaloka. O Jambali, I perceive with regret action of my illustrious parent in permitting one of atheistic ideas. Why Dasharatha has kept Jambali with him, who is having the atheistic ideas, who has fallen from the path of rectitude enjoined in the Vedas, to remain in his court. Those who preach the heretical doctrine of Charvaka school are not only infidels but have deviated from the path of truth. It is the duty of the monarch to deal with such persons as with felons, nor should men of understanding and learning stand in the presence of such atheists. What goes wrong with the atheist? Because of the kind of the argument that they are making, there is a possibility they might completely disturb the harmony of the society, which is being maintained by the scriptures and the Vedas, by strict following of scriptures and Vedas. Such things, there is nothing wrong in what Jabali is saying. However, it is not acceptable, it is not practicable, and if it applies to a community, then there will be a disharmony in the whole community. O Jabali, those versed in wisdom who preceded you performed many holy acts by virtue of which they acquired eminence here and in the spiritual realm. Those sages have ever practiced harmlessness, truth, asceticism, charity, benevolence, and sacrifice. O Jambali, those who fulfill their spiritual duty, who are the foremost in deeds of charity, and who harm none, who frequent the assemblies of God, of the good, and are revered by all men, they are without sin. Their name shall live forever as that of our illustrious Guru Sri Vasista. Rama, having uttered these harsh words to Jabali, he with humility addressed Rama, saying, O Rama, I am no atheist. On this occasion, I assumed this atheistical disguise in order to turn you from your purpose and persuade you to return to the capital. Thus ended chapter 109 of Ayodhya Kanda in Ramayana. So, this way, people having different opinions are always respected in the land of Bharata. Never they have been ill treated, nor they have been subject to humility, or nor they have been killed for saying something that is against the society. However, The king always has the right. If they continue to insist upon those words, creating a disharmony in the society, remember it is not for the sake of their beliefs, it is not for the sake of their faith that they have been killed. They would have been killed or they would have been punished basically because they created disharmony in the society. Because every individual in the land of Bharata, they have the right to keep their own faith, they have the right to keep their own understanding regarding the world, regarding their own life. However, when it comes to applying it to the society, applying it commonly to the community, there should be a common rule that needs to be followed, which will create a harmony in the society. And remember, it is for the same reason way back Buddhism was abandoned, Buddhism was rooted out from India, basically because of its not a practicable way of applying it into a harmonious society. If people do not protect, then many Nalanda universities have been burnt into ashes, and the whole of the northwest part, where today it comprises of Pakistan, Afghanistan to the Central Asia, right up to that point, it was dominated by Buddhism. But where all those Buddhists have gone? Because if you go on preaching non-violence, non-practicing non-violence while someone is performing meditation is a right thing. For meditation, non-violence is essential to maintain the inner harmony. But to maintain the same harmony in the society, often peace is not enough. Often people should be ready to sacrifice themselves for the sake of peace. And they should be ready to die, ready to fight, and ready to commit violence, ready to punish the people for the sake of maintaining the peace and harmony in the society. And if that is not being done, probably all those Buddhists might have either been forcibly converted or might have been killed by the invaders. That is what had happened to the Buddhism probably 1,000 years back. And why go 1,000 years back? If you go just hundred, few decades back, the same thing happened in Tibet. In the Tibet, people were following the Buddhism and they were following the non-violent way. And what happened to their fate? And what is their fate today? Are they really following the same non-violence? And if they continue to follow the same non-violence, will China allow them to live for longer time? It is all doubtful. So it is because of that reason, for a society to survive, certain principles may not be practicable, whereas the same principles will be of great value when it comes to maintaining the inner harmony of a meditator. So one should know what need to be applied internally, personally, individually for their own achievement, for their own sadhana, and what should be applied to the society for the sake of maintaining the harmony in the society. Namaste Sharada Devi, Kashmira Puramasini, Twamaham Prarthage Nityam, Vidya Danancha Dehime. Goodbye.